Why are so many entrepreneurs terrified of asking somebody for money? I was. Most people are. It's because they don't have confidence in themselves or they don't have confidence in their ideas. There is far more money out there than there is good ideas on which to spend that money. You are doing someone a favor when you give them an opportunity to invest in yourself. If you're honest, have a good idea, and are pursuing it with all of your strength. Get used to asking for money. Unless you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, get used to asking for money and go do it. Get used to saying, hi, my name is, I want to get $1 million from you. And you'll be amazed at how often you'll get the $1 million. When you go to an entrepreneur who has been successful, in other words, the person you're most likely to be first asking for money, they already know where you're coming from. So you have no reason to be afraid of asking them for money because they've been there in that same place. I can tell you my own first story of asking someone for money, and that was a friend of mine said, you need to go talk to this person over here. So my partner and I went off nicely to talk with him. And we left there with $50,000 in cash. And we're sort of going, well, that was kind of an interesting idea. And they said, oh, I got another person you should go talk to. So we went and talked to him too. And we left with another $50,000 in cash. At this point, we stopped being stupid about it. We realized we had a good idea, that people were interested in that idea, and that people would put their money into that interest. And that's how we got started my first company.
So going into asking for 50,000, how did that feel? I mean, were you scared? Were you confident?
We didn't even go in asking for money. Later, I knew that that was what I was going to do. But when we went in the first time, it was just because somebody had told us to go talk to this guy. And so we went in, we presented our idea. This was for my first company, which became Clara Recognition Systems. And we went in with that and presented it to them. And they offered us money. We weren't asking for money. After the first time, I said, I can ask for money. Because there's something, if I have to teach somebody something, the most important lesson I can teach you is there are far more sources of money available than there are good ideas that will make money available. If you have the good ideas, if you have the drive and the ambition and the strength to bring that idea to fruition, you will have no trouble getting people to invest in you. And I don't care if you have the next, star drive, or you have a new way of making boxes. I don't care what it is. You will convince people to put money into it because it is a good idea and it will make more money. Because after all, that's what we're trying to do here.
How can someone change their mindset from being scared to ask for money and just going in and saying, I need this much for my business?
One of the most important things you can learn, one of the most important things that I learned, is that fear is your enemy. I don't mean you should be arrogant, that you should be cocky, but fear is your enemy. When you find yourself afraid of something, go do it. It may not be the right thing to do, but it's a whole heck of a lot better than sitting around being afraid. So I was afraid the first time I asked somebody for money. Why on earth would somebody give me money? Here I was, this guy that had never started a company, never done anything like that before. But I very rapidly learned that I had one thing that they didn't have. They had millions and millions of dollars, but I had one thing they didn't have, and that was an entrepreneurial idea that could be turned into a profitable business.
And how is this crucial for personal and business growth?
If you are afraid to take action, if you do not have the confidence in your own ideas, in your own abilities to bring those ideas to fruition, you will regret it all of your life. You can change your life from timidity and fear and caution to success quite often by expressing your wishes to other people. If you want to know if someone will invest in you, you must ask them.
Me as a business owner, why should I go ask people for money?
Unless you were born with an infinite amount of money, you shouldn't. Unless you were born with an infinite amount of money, you're going to have to, as a matter of course. But that's not the main reason. When I go and ask people for money, I am not just looking for the money. We had a joke that we, of course, never said in front of our investors of dumb money. Dumb money is someone that simply writes you a check. They don't bring you anything else but money. And sometimes you need that money. What you really want is an investor that can help you. An investor who will say, okay, I can contribute to your company being a success, and the benefit he gets out of it is he gets to put money into you. It seems really funny that it's a favor you do to other people to let them give you money, but it is, because your ideas are rarer than their money. So go ahead and do it. Let people tell you that they want to invest in you, and be willing to take their money when they do. But always, always do this from an honest perspective. You want to produce something successful. I have no interest in helping someone become a con man. I have a lot of interest in helping somebody become successful in both life and business.
Now, you've given us some amazing advice of why we should ask for money. How can we get confidence to ask for money? What are tips? What are personal experiences, and how you gain that confidence to go and ask for money?
There are two kinds of ways, two paths that are related but not identical, that I followed both of them. One is the more global path, one is the more general path, more specific path. In order to learn how to ask people for money for specific business ideas, prepare your business ideas so that you understand them, so that you can answer questions about them, and then present them, because you will now have much more confidence. The better you understand your ideas and how you're going to make them successful, the easier it is for you to present those ideas to others. So on the local specific case, that's it. As far as overcoming fear is concerned, and that is your biggest enemy, as I said, as far as overcoming fear is concerned, do things. They may be completely unrelated. I've joked about the fact that jumping out of an airplane led me to being a successful entrepreneur, because I was terrified of jumping out of an airplane. After that, nothing was quite as scary again. And that I recommend. I don't necessarily mean jumping out of an airplane. If you don't like speaking publicly, take a public speaking course and go and speak in front of 1,000 people. And pretty soon you'll discover that they're listening to you, and they're interested in what you have to say, and they're interested in your stories. That's the secret. Learn that people really do care about what you're thinking, whether it's just relating your anecdotes of life, or if it's, I have ideas that you can make money off of by investing in me.
Now, for a conclusion, what would you say is the key thing for everyone? What are the steps where it's you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 to go into a room, confidently ask for money, walk out with that money?
The first thing you need to do is know what you want the money for. That seems fairly obvious. You're not just asking for money so somebody will, maybe help you do something. You want to have a very specific idea. I want this amount of money to bring this idea to fruition. Here's the tasks, here's the people I need to hire, here's the money I need to spend in order to do this, here's the public relations I need to do. All of those things you need to understand in advance. The more you understand those in advance, you'll do two things. You'll build up your own confidence, so when you go to someone and say, I want you to invest in me, you'll sound like you believe it. And number two, the more you understand your idea and what it takes to bring it about and what it takes to be successful, the more people will believe in your idea as well as in you. And that combination of believing in you and your idea is a source of money. Success in business comes from confidence in yourself. Confidence in yourself will enable you to build a company, to bring ideas to fruition, but it will also enable you to ask people to come along for the ride, whether it's money or becoming an executive in your company or becoming a programmer in your company. You have to inspire people. Leadership is far rarer than money or employment or being a software engineer. People want to be led. I don't mean they want to be servants and led around by their nose, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking people want to be inspired. They want to be a part of something that's going somewhere and that's being successful. And if you can provide that, then you will do a great favor to everyone who works for you and with you, including the ones who give you money. And if you learn how to do that, you will be successful. If you want to learn how to do this, follow us, come along with us, subscribe to us, and I will do my best to teach you how I have been successful over these years and show you how. It will not necessarily be your course, but it will show you enough about yourself and about the business world so that you can make your own path to success.